I'm Dave Cyderbaby. This is for Rock Radio UK. And today I'm talking to Black Dog Otis, yeah?
Yeah, that's us. That's most of us. So,
That's
yeah.
most of us. I mean, there's
Yeah.
4 of you there. How many more can there be?
8.
Total. No, there's, I mean, there's,
6 to 12.
yeah.
Well, okay. So
Yeah.
basically, it's everybody in the bar just chips in and plays a
If
tune.
you can find an instrument, yeah. No, there are 6 of us total. Our other guitarist DJ is not here. He's a working musician and he's giving lessons today, I think, Gene, or something.
He's in bed. Let's not lie about it.
Don't know if I want to know with who, but and then our drummer, he's had some lung issues, so he's kind of just taking it easy right now. So so it's, you get 4 of us. So
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good start. Let me just bring that down because I've got my notes here to the side here. And yes, Fire Hazard. You sent that in to me the other day, and I had a listen, I think, to the first track, and I thought, I've got to speak to you guys. That was as simple as that. I'd know next to nothing about you guys, so tell me, where did it all spring from?
a pawn shop, probably. I mean, honestly, yeah. So I was in. I play bass. It's weird though in this band, I met Gene when I was working. I needed a job in college, and I'd worked in jewelry and stuff as a teenager, and actually ended up in a pawn shop. I gave him a resume, and I got a job, and he was a absolute legit, like, day-to-day musician as well, like, working, playing every night and working in a pawn shop during the day and things like that. And we've been friends ever since. I moved to Chicago and met Brian, the lead singer, because I ended up working at advertising agencies, and Brian sat across from me. And then I met Tony, also at an ad agency. So it's yeah. I mean, this thing goes back like 30 years, honestly. But this is like, the last 5 or so has been us actually trying to play together and make something of what limited music ability I have, and everybody else is way better. So that's kind of why this started. So yeah.
As a project, this goes back to the COVID days. So during COVID, of course, we couldn't be in contact with anyone. I was piddling around and writing a couple songs, and I was like, man, everybody I want to play with, I can't be with. So I came up with a song and started sending it around to all my musician friends, and they would put a little something on there and send it back and forth and send it back and forth. I'm like, well, if we could do one song this way, like, why couldn't we have a whole recording project, a whole band that works this way? And that was sort of the template for Black Dog Otis. That's kind of where the idea came from. We kind of proved that it was possible. So it's like, after it's two records later, and it's still kind of working. So but it came from not being able to get out of the house, and so now we're doing our best to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Okay. The other halves are kicking you out now, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So where are you based? Kentucky, wasn't it?
A lot, yeah.
We are in Louisville,
Right.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep.
Yep.
And Gene, you're in Berea.
Yeah.
I'm nodding like I know where that is.
Right. Of course you do.
Yeah.
And I'm out in West Virginia, and then our drummer is in Nashville. So, like, it can be a little bit tricky to get us all together in one room, but
You manage.
we manage it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Biohazard, you sent that over, and I thought, wow. Like I said, I had to get hold of you because of the one song to start with. Little did I know what was to come, to be fair. I mean, let's talk about Fire Hazard and maybe the last 2 songs that really go along with it, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, my Casio died for your sins.
You want to tell them the story of the Casio and how she died?
Yeah.
I need this story.
Okay, so we don't have a lot of money to do these projects, honestly, and it's kind of trying to find spaces and places we can do these things. So this ad agency I work at was nice enough to give us a hallway for a weekend, like literally. So most of this was recorded in a hallway, and we had done, this is probably like second round of recording.
I think so.
Yeah, second. So our second like 2-day session or whatever, and we came in and we were just like, well, I've got this crazy old Casio that my great grandmother basically had when I was a kid, and I was like, this thing is fun. Let's just do this and run it through a bunch of distortion pedals and like see what we can get. And in the process, apparently, I don't know who, somebody probably plugged in the wrong voltage adapter to the thing, and it actually caught on fire in the middle of recording some stuff. So, and then, I mean,
it was Good Friday also.
Yeah, it was Good Friday. Yeah.
It wasn't, but that's what we're going to say.
So then it caught on fire, and like, oh my God. So we're basically stamping out this little itty bitty flame that like started in the corner and the carpet and stuff, and it just looks ridiculous. And then somebody on the way to lunch, I believe it's the man down in the corner of the screen, Brian, like actually just started writing like a song as we walked across the street to lunch.
It started as a eulogy for, you know, when you lose a soldier in battle, you know, you gotta sing the hymn. But then I started to dawn on me, it does sound like a hymn. So we sat there at a pizza place across the street, and that's when the whole sermon and the hymn came together. So during our lunch break on recording day.
The sermon's pretty much all improvised, and we cut it together a few parts, but the hymn was actually like, you know, well thought out, and we left, you know, some mistakes and stuff in there. Yeah, we left some little flaws and things there because it was just like of the moment and stuff, you know, and it is a kind of an unhinged moment anyway, so we just kind of let it live and be as weird as it could be.
Yeah,
Do you know what?
And, no food.
Do you know what? I'm glad it's there because it just sets the whole album off at the end. But I mean, we got to talk about the rest of the songs. I mean,
Sure.
Open with Speedball Mama, which is, you know, the song that hooked me in right from the very start. You're not going for elongated songs that last 10 or 20 minutes. You're going like short, snappy, quick, almost punky type rock, country rock. Would that be a good summarization? I can't even say the word. A summary of your musical taste, or
As good as any I've heard.
Right. We struggle to categorize ourselves. We call it everything from country to punk to. I've joked about it being prog punk. I don't like prog music, but it's a little proggy.
Yeah,
It's a mishmash of influences.
punk jazz fusion. Yeah,
Punk jazz fusion.
yeah. With the fusion, or the fusion part's really short. It's not 3 hours.
We can fuse all you want, but at the end of the day, it comes out of my mouth, so it sounds like a country record.
yeah.
So it gets kind of weird, and that's what I like about it.
It's great. It's refreshing.
Oh, good.
That's what I like.
I think that's the first time I heard that word.
Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. It's refreshing to hear it because sometimes you could, you know, the best will in the world, it can go on and go on and go on, and you say, right, skip. But there's not a track on this album that I skip through.
Oh, nice.
I'll tell you that now.
Can we get that refreshing comment in writing?
Yes, you can have that.
We're
in
gonna put
writing.
that on T-shirts.
Yeah. You are refreshing. Feel refreshed.
Going to be a picture.
So Gene, you haven't been allowed to speak much here. I mean,
They don't let me do much, period. I just get to stand there with the guitar.
yeah. Is it always like that? Do you have to try and butt in, or?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
I have to interject stuff into the mix occasionally.
Yeah. I mean, we let him do whatever he wants. We don't keep him in a cage or whatever. So.
More like a fish tank. They lift the lid and sprinkle in some food every now and then.
So what are your influences from? I mean, like you say, Brian, you've got a country voice. I mean, what are your inspirations from?
I mean, I absolutely listened to country radio my whole life as a kid. I've been in a couple of country bands. It was when I started playing music, you know, I was not, and still am not, the best guitar player. So if I could do 3 chords in the truth, like Hank Williams said, I could do enough to at least put it on a stage and have a good time. Mm-hmm. So those were that's my upbringing. And then I got into, like, you know, your Motorheads and your Clutch and your Judas Priest and all that stuff when I was a younger man, and all that stuff kind of rattles around in your head and it comes out my mouth, and that's our at least our vocal style.
Yeah, I mean, Clutch.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Clutch? Do you know Clutch?
I am very familiar with Clutch. I think I've seen them 10 times now.
They're actually from near where I live, and I've seen them probably once, at least once a year since the late 1900s. They're one of my favorite groups of people, individuals,
Yeah,
and one of my favorite bands of all time.
yeah. I've got to say, I saw him at Download Festival 2010. Some guy was standing beside me. He said, "Oh, we come all the way down from Scotland just to see this band." I said, "Who are we seeing?" He said, "Clutch." I said, "I'd never heard of him." Then after the gig, I thought, I can understand why you travelled so far, pal.
Yeah, they're a band that the records don't do them justice. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping that somebody says that about us someday.
I could say it now if you like, refreshing, and
It's
the album
refreshing.
doesn't do you justice in a live environment. There you go.
Perfect.
I mean,
I don't even know who Clutch is,
I
so
would say there you go.
that tells
yeah.
you.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's do a whole interview about Clutch, please.
Okay. So Gene, what about you? What about your influences?
Uh, I'm a hardcore honky tonker from way back.
Yeah.
Merle Haggard, Keith Whitley, Waylon, Willie, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I bring the heavy country influence into the group without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just my style of guitar playing. My when I was 17, I don't know if you've ever heard of Keith Whitley or not.
I have.
Hall of Fame musician. I met his guitar player, and he took me under his wing and basically taught me everything I know. So my
Absolutely fantastic.
my pedigree runs deep in country music.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What about you, Ashley?
Uh, Grew up with a lot of Beastie Boys stuff, which is some of the weirder punk. That and band 9 Pound Hammer were pretty big influences, honestly, on me growing up, and those are probably two. And then, I mean, I spent my entire, like, I don't know, childhood, trying to get away from country music, only to be sucked back into it, because of somebody I work with in a pawn shop and somebody I work with in an ad agency, and but yeah, I mean, there's decent, country stuff in there too. Old Cash stuff, the later Cash stuff too. I mean, John Mr. Blues Explosion too. I love them, and R.L. Burnside probably the top five, I guess, for me. So,
Okay. And finally, you, sir.
and Tony, this is Tony, by the way.
Yes,
Sorry, yeah,
Tony. Hi, Tony.
yeah,
Hi. Yeah, I grew up on classic rock. Grew up in Kentucky, so my guitar teacher was into Southern rock. So, the first song I learned was "Sweet Home Alabama," like everybody else my age.
Mhm.
Eventually, I heard punk rock, and it was over for me. The Replacements, the Clash, that kind of stuff. The Hold Steady more recently. That's my thing. I'm the guy who wants the songs to last no more than 2 minutes.
You've had a lot
Let's
of
get in and
influence.
get done. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. We push in for that extra 30 seconds, usually
Yeah.
on most of the tracks, so that we can get.
I bristle at a fourth chord in a song. I'm sort of like Brian that way.
Okay, I'm not gonna ask you about each and every song because that just gets boring and dull. But pick a song you like each and tell me why. Go on,
Right,
we'll start with
I'll
you again.
start.
Yeah, go
I'll
on.
start. My favorite song on this record is "Lucky." Um,
Okay.
it's fast, it's upbeat, it's fun, it's goofy sometimes, and there's just an unholy amount of screaming guitar, which pleases my soul to the very depths. Gene and Tony and DJ, everybody takes a whack at it, and there's some harmonization going on with the guitars. It just thrills me to death. It was a fun song to record. It's a fun song to sing because I can be as loud as I want, and it's just an absolute rock. I don't know, not an anthem, but it's something.
Tony, what about you?
I may have to go with Smoke Show.
Okay.
That's the most interesting one to me, I think, mainly because I had a little hand in it. Right. Ashley wrote it and went away for a couple of days, I think, to hang out with Brian. And I kept hearing in the riff that he wrote, I kept hearing this jazz shuffle that wasn't there, but I kept hearing it. So I sort of rearranged it, put a little shuffle behind it, and that's what you hear on the record. So it's this mix of, this jazzy thing plus this, screaming punk thing in the middle. And I'm just really pleased with the way it came out. It's, something that I don't think anybody saw coming.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. It sort of stands out.
That's one of the ones I quite like as well. So, Ashley, what about you?
I honestly, Speedball Mama is something Brian and I've been messing around with for 20 some odd years or whatever, this might be the closest I think it's ever come to actually what we've maybe thought. And then over those 20 years, the lyrics got sharper, the music got different, it got better. I mean, like, I love it just because it's sentimental to me in a lot of ways, but also too, it's really fun and really good. And it's made that, and between that and Lucky are probably, I think, maybe the closest two things we sound like probably consistently. So that a little bit of Americana with a little bit more Southern rock on being Lucky. Yeah.
Okay. Gene, how about you?
I'm probably going to go with Lucky as well.
Yeah.
I think the whole album has to be listened to within itself. I think they kind of feed off of each other, and each song kind of leads into a different direction. Um, it all comes from the maniac mind of Ashley there, and so everything is just a little bit weird.
Mhm.
Go ahead and say it, Gene. Go ahead and say it.
Don't know about my account, please.
I'll tell you, Ashley come to my house. I mean, you started asking what was our favorite songs, and I was sitting here thinking, well, what the hell's even on the album? I'm not even sure. And Ashley would come to my house, and he would have me play all this guitar stuff. And I'd be like, okay. So we would lay rhythm, and he'd say, okay, play me a solo out of the key of E. And I'd play something, and then I get the track back, and I'm like, who's playing guitar? Because I don't recognize nothing on it because it has been chopped up and pasted and cut around. And I'm like, and how are we supposed to play this when I don't even know what I'm doing? And so I think Lucky is the one that is probably the closest to what we done live or it together as a group, because of all the, like Brian was saying, all the harmonizing and the twin guitar stuff, kind of Allman Brothers feeling, and that was what we did actually in the studio here at my place. So there was nothing that was chopped up and added onto this one. So I think musically, that's the crown jewel of the album.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So you've alluded to live shows as well. So you're a gigging touring band of sorts.
It's very interesting. I'll be pretty dang honest. Gene plays. You still play probably every weekend someplace, right? If not
Yeah.
two times a weekend. DJ, the other guitarist, that's his gig. That's his livelihood, man. He is playing all the time. And then for us, like Brian said, the first album was proof of concept. We were trying to do dates this spring to support this one because we actually were like, yes, we could do this as a band.
Yeah.
And then our drummer's had, like we said, he's had some lung issues and things. So we're not sure. We don't think he's going to continue. So we think we have to find a replacement. So late summer, fall, unfortunately, we had to push things back a little bit. Yeah, this will be a live functioning band, so it's just been a lot of, I mean, we all have jobs and things too. So this is fun as possible, but it's tough to tell your boss, like, I need 2 weeks off to go to Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania and Wheeling for a couple, so for shows, but I don't know, it will work. So yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
So we should change the name to PTO instead of BDO.
Okay. It's all about the physical content, I suppose, because to make money as a band, you need to be selling like merch and albums and stuff like that. So I assume people can order the album from you direct, or?
Yes, we have a Bandcamp site that is up. You can actually buy I like the zoom in we've got here. Thanks, Zoom. But you can buy the actual. You can download it on Bandcamp. We actually have a link for the vinyl copy. And again, but this is the economics of being a touring band and stuff at this day and age. We don't have the money to order 1,000 copies or 100 copies and have them sitting around. So we've actually worked with Elastic Stage, which is based out of the UK, and they'll do like sort of print on demand. So it's a little bit more, we're not making. I mean, we make like $5 off the thing, honestly. So and they charge a little bit more for it because it's single pressing. But it's the way if you're a true fan of the band and you want to actually like listen to this stuff on vinyl, like $5 more than you probably paid for your local shop, and you got to wait like 2 weeks for it. So it's 3 weeks. It's not that bad, but if we can actually go out and tour and print limited runs, we'd love to do that. But yeah, our Bandcamp site is just bandcamp.blackdogotis.com, I think, or switch those two around. and or stream us. We're on every platform. You can buy us on iTunes, buy us on Amazon. I mean, we're in every possible distribution channel we can be in, without actually having a physical CD in a store, just because that's more than we have to do.
Yeah. Did I
You can
read
even
some?
buy us in person.
What'd you
What?
say?
I said you can even buy us in person.
Oh,
We'll
you
come
in
to your
person?
house and play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look into the flight fares and stuff like that.
If you could set a tour up for us, that'd be great. We'll be there.
Yeah,
So
we'll show up for that.
Brilliant.
yeah.
I'd love to see you in the UK, honestly. But did I read somewhere that you had a tape, a reel-to-reel tape copy?
Yes, so my wife bought me a old reel-to-reel player a couple months in an estate sale, and we figured out a way to actually transfer this oh boy, to a reel-to-reel. Oh.
I did the very same thing. I went to oh, my mic's gone. I went to an auction the other day, and I thought, never had one of those.
They're fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, if you're doing it.
Yeah. So we actually transferred it. We have one copy available. You also get on the back end of that, you get I think some Glenn Miller and maybe a little I can't remember, but it's yeah. So let's just say we were sharing tape with somebody. So
I spoke to another guy. Oh, must have been about a month ago, and he's done exactly the same thing.
I mean, offer it any format we can. If somebody will buy it, we'll sell it.
Are people buying cassettes in the UK?
Sorry?
Are cassette tapes back?
Yes.
Okay, they are here as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was very hipster to start with, so maybe a bit young for me and everybody else. But I remember trying to pull the chewed tapes out of the car cassette player.
Yep, with the pencil, yeah,
the pencil as well, and things like that. But I mean, I still do have cars that are old enough to have cassette players, just because I'm very tight. But that's another story anyway. But I really want to get this music that you've created out there, because I think it is absolutely amazing. Like I said, it's refreshing, it's short, it's sharp, it's to the point, it's got that country vibe, it's got that punk vibe, it's just everything I've been looking for in like a new sound.
Oh, thanks.
For years. I've got to say, I miss your first album, but thankfully.
It's a little.
It's out there.
It's out there. It exists.
The running time's a little bit longer on this time around, though, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a couple more tracks to this one. And to the end of it, having those additional 2 songs of an actual sermon and hymn.
Yeah. More tomfoolery at the end than the other one. Which there was some silliness on the other one too, but
surely not.
I know it's crazy to think.
The Hungarian sea chant.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Hungarian sea shanty. Yeah.
Okay, tell me more, please.
Oh boy.
There's 2 instrumentals on that album.
Yeah, there's one just called the lifestyles. The Hungarian sea shanty. So we also have this. Do you know what an air organ is?
Yep.
Yeah, we had one of those, and we were just like that. Somebody dropped off at my house, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with this thing? So we again shoved a mic in front of it and a bunch of distortion pedals, and then had our drummer learn Hungarian, and he actually gives an entire breakup of in Hungarian to a woman in a bar. That is underscored by this bizarre Hungarian. It's a sea shanty. That's all. Because that's all we could make it sound like was this organ playing like a calliope on a drowning boat or something, or a sinking ship. It's weird, but about a minute and a half. So
okay, guys, tell everybody where they can find you. Have you got socials? You got Bandcamp, obviously, and
somebody other than me.
Yeah.
BlackDogOtis.com.
Yep. BlackDogOtis.com is the place to find everything. You can find our socials there. You can find the records there. You can find links to buy the vinyl. You can buy a t-shirt. You can do all those things to support the band.
Excellent.
And we're on, you can follow us on Instagram. We're on I think it's just Black Dog Otis. If you need emails, it's BlackDogOtisBand at Gmail. We're, again, streaming on every service you can think of, iTunes. Ones we haven't even heard of. We heard the other day that somebody played it in Spain. We're just like, how did people find us in Spain? Thank you, Spain. We're any place you download music, any place you listen to music, we're there. So
don't forget our OnlyFans channel too.
Right. Yeah. It's behind the Black Dog Otis.
That's when Gene plays in his underpants on that one. That's something to see.
Okay.
It's that leather thong and chaps is what it is.
Yeah. It's a combo.
It works. If it works, it works.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that bombshell, Fire Hazard is available now, guys. Go if you're listening, if you're watching this video, please go and search it out. It is absolutely brilliant. G, Brian, Ashley, Tony, thank you so much for your time, and please just keep making music like this. It's utterly brilliant.
Wow, thank you so much, Dave.
Thanks, man. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh, my Casio. Oh, my Casio. Oh, my Casio. Oh, my Casio. He died for your sins. Oh, my Casio. Oh, my Casio. Oh, my Casio. Oh, my Casio. He died for your sins. Well, now Jesus had a Casio. He couldn't play it though. Just fumbled with the keys. Still brought us to our knees. Oh, Casio. Oh, my Casio. Oh, my Casio. Oh, my Casio. Oh, my Casio. He died for your sins.